What's up, folks? You are tuned into the Failing Frequency. I am Ethan.
And I'm Mike.
And we are gathered here today in this house of worship to give thanks to the gods of science fiction for blessing us with Star Trek yet again.
We're here to talk the news of the week. And,
Star Trek news of the week. Sorry, we're a little bit out of practice. We're doing this late again.
My fault.
Yeah, your fault this time. Wait, was it your fault last time? Haha, yes.
It's always my fault if we're recording late.
It's everyone's fault because we're a combined effort.
Okay.
It's my fault, it's your fault, it's the listener's fault.
If we can blame the listeners, I'm more than happy to take that down.
We talk bollocks. We also talk Star Trek news and reviews of the latest Star Trek content. This week it is the latest episode of Lower Decks, which has a long title again. Well, not again, but it has a long title. Hear all, trust nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not quite long. I think when we were talking about long episode titles, we were going 5 is
Yeah.
There's a bunch of 5-word episode titles. And then 6 is less common, and then 7 is even less common still.
Yeah.
But how are you doing, Mike? What have you been up to?
I'm tired. I've been in Vegas for work. I managed to get
there.
Vegas, baby! A whole month after Star Trek Vegas happened, I managed to get there. They let me in.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. I tried to go see, the hot yoga.
No, was there no hot Klingon yoga?
There wasn't any hot Klingon yoga. Sadly. I mean, what's the point in going, really? So after I found out that, I just decided to head back. But that took all of a week, really, or all of 5 days.
Did you handle some business?
I handled business. You know me,
Handled
international
business.
assassin.
Yeah, mate. You
I'm
gotta
constantly
handle
handling
business.
Yeah. How's your week been?
It's, same shit, mate.
Same shit, different day?
Yeah, man, struggling, getting by. By the skin of my teeth, I am getting by.
Yeah.
It's hard going these days.
Life in general.
Yeah, man. But let's. Speaking of shit's hard and shit sucks, and the world sucks and everything sucks. Let's get on to the news. And let's keep that mood going. And let's keep it sad because Louise Fletcher died on the 23rd of September. Louise Fletcher, of course, played Kai Wynn in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. She also won an Oscar and a BAFTA, a Golden Globe, rather, and a BAFTA.
She did win an Oscar as well.
For her role as Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The woman played a mean bitch.
Yeah,
she could play a
very
fucking...
well.
Oh, she could. Talk about two villains for the ages.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of people who put Kai Wynn as their favorite Trek villain overall because of A, how she's played, and B, the believability of a religious zealot just zealoting about and having followers still.
Yeah, taking the kill them with kindness thing to its fucking most horrible extent, and just just thinking about Kai Wynn. That's the thing. Every time I think about Louise Fletcher dying, I'm like, that's sad. Oh man, she was great. Oh fuck, I hate Kai Wynn so much.
Yeah. So power of a good actress, really.
Absolutely. Speaking of, in a 2012 interview with StarTrek.com, Louise Fletcher spoke about how she approached the character's motivation. We got this article up from TrekMovie.com. Fletcher said, power. She wanted power and she was ambitious. She was sort of a Margaret Thatcher in space. Or as I used to say, I was the Pope in space. People would say, oh, you're doing Star Trek, who are you playing? I'd say, I think I'm the Pope in space, except she's like an ancient Pope from the old days when popes were just kind of rambling a bit.
Yeah.
which talks about when they were ruthless and powerful and exerted their powers and fought wars and did all kinds of naughty things. Yeah, popes did
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got a good point.
Yeah.
She's like Rodrigo Borgia.
Yeah, and who plays the young pope? What is it? Jude Law, whatever pope he plays.
Yeah, she's like Jude Law.
She's Jude Law, very Jude Law-esque. I didn't know as well. She was for Kai Wynn. She was nominated 5 times and won 4 by the Online Film and Television Association, which apparently existed back in '97. Like,
wow. Oh, so like early
God only knows what they were talking about online.
They had a board. The internet had a board. I bet they had a meeting room. I bet they had a meeting place.
Yeah, it is one of the award things where you can just put yourself up as like a person who votes. So imagine what that was like in '97.
Oh my God! I bet people were just voting for all kinds of weird Nazi porn.
Yeah.
Just like whatever they like. What should we name it? What colour should it be? Nazi porn. Got a quote here from Ira Stephen Bear. Every fan of Star Trek Deep Space Nine should be in mourning tonight. Louise was a key player for us, a stone cold pro who committed totally to her character. I would have loved to interview her for our documentary, but we never could sync schedules. Sad. Brian Fuller, who produced some episodes of DS9 and created Hannibal and the first 2 episodes of Discovery. The guy, I fucking love this guy. Kai Wynn walks with the prophets. Rest in power, Louise. I don't think Kai Wynn is with the prophets.
No. She allied herself with the
with the coast,
whatevers.
with the coast emoji.
Yeah, the red ones, not the yellow ones, the red ones.
I'd love to see like an edgy atheist Par-Wraith fellowship in Lower Decks, a la Satanism.
Yeah.
Couldn't find many other responses to people's to people's responses to Louise Fletcher.
Do you know, if you had to guess, how, maybe you've read it, how many episodes was she in total of DS9? Think of like the impact she had. How many episodes do you reckon she was in?
Many. I don't know. Many.
14.
14. Total. Sure. What?
Which you think
Surely not.
In the last season as well, she's just off fucking like Decat for a couple of episodes. So if they're included in the 14...
Oh, God. Not everyone can be a bitch all the time.
No. But like...
Sometimes even the fucking intergalactic Karens need a day off, you know?
But to have that impact in 14 episodes where like you're like, oh God, that fucking bitch. And you think she's in it a lot more.
She's
just...
like, she's horrible. She's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, Louise Fletcher was wonderful. And she seems like cheeky. And it would take someone who is actually very nice to play such an evil, horrible person.
Yeah.
I think, without that person actually being a psychopath. You know, like, just look at Jared Leto playing the Joker. Played a horrible villain because he is a horrible villain.
Yeah.
And it was gross the whole time. It was gross.
Okay, yeah.
You know? Citation provided. One final quote. Robert Heward Wolfe, who was a writer for Star Trek Deep Space Nine, said, "It was an honor and a pleasure to write for Louise Fletcher, one of the absolute greats, a blazing talent, and a complete class act."
Yeah.
Like that.
True.
Class act. Classy lady. Classy lady.
Yeah.
Carrying on with the sad news. Well, wait, before we move on, I must, of course, we've got to send her off. She may be with the prophets, or she may, of course, find her way to Stover Call.
I'll have a drink of that. To Louise Fletcher.
Ah! Still got to work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But what's our other sad news? What's our other
other sad news?
Completely unpredictable news.
But it's the saddest news, Michael.
It's saddest.
So sad.
So unpredictable.
TrekCore reports after losing its director, the long-awaited Kelvin timeline, Star Trek 4 beams away from Paramount Pictures' release schedule. They're not going to make it.
But they were so confident. They announced it and everything.
They announced it 1,000,000 times over the course of many years.
Yeah.
For
a very brief rundown, this Star Trek 4 got announced on the release date of Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
And they said it was going to have Hemsworth back and it was going to be time travel. He was going to time travel and it would be him and Pine working together. Then they asked all the cast to take a pay cut because they couldn't afford them, especially after Star Trek Beyond. People love it. Didn't do great at box office. So they asked everyone to take a pay cut. They said no, as you might if you've already got a contract in there.
Yeah.
And since then, every year or so, it goes, oh, where's Star Trek 4? Oh, it's in the planning, honestly. We're getting this director and these writers involved every year. And as of last year's Star Trek Day, I believe it was, we got fresh news that it was going to be out by Christmas 2023.
Something like that, yeah.
The trouble is, they didn't tell the cast.
No.
They didn't have the script written.
No, I've got literally, I've got on Variety.com, Chris Blooming Pine, Chris Bloody Pine saying they're usually the last people to find out, but I do know we're all excited. Whenever they want to send us a script, we're ready for it. We haven't seen a script. I don't know anything about it. Then they put, so you trust them that much that you signed on without a script. So I don't trust anybody, but I'm excited. It's like not
contractually
really
I have to.
He's not even confirming anything. He's like, I don't trust anybody, but I'm excited. Because the guy's asking if he signed on without a script, and he's like, sounds great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was never going to happen.
No.
There
isn't enough money coming out of them to get the cast. Zoe Saldana by the end of this year, so whatever it is, 2-3 months time, will be the highest paid earning female actress ever.
That's insane. Like I've barely seen her in that much, I'll be honest. I've seen her in a lot of things and she's a wonderful actress. But and that's all Avatar money.
Avatar and Guardians and I say earning actress, but her movies have earned the most ever. And that's Avatar, that's Avengers, that's Guardians, that's all that money coming through. And you're
crazy.
Like, oh, will you work for cheap just because we want you to?
Has she done Star Wars? Has she done all the nerd? Who's done the most nerd stuff? Probably
Greg Grunberg.
Greg Grunberg, probably that creepy that creepy dude that was in like The Dark Knight and Ant-Man and Gotham and all the other stuff. And he was Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
Des Malchian.
He's been in like 3 DC things alone.
Yeah, man. He's getting the full house, baby.
Yeah.
But
we should have called it. I added it to the video.
We did call it. We called it anytime anyone mentioned it ever. Me and you have just been like, it's not going to fucking happen. There are no words for how much this film is never getting made.
Yeah.
It may not get made so hard it literally unmakes the rest of the films.
Yeah.
Which, beautiful segue, because if you're sad about having no fucking Star Trek 4, then you're also going to fucking shit yourself that there's no Star Trek movies at all on Paramount Plus. That's right. Paramount Plus they've taken the films off, then they put the films back on, and now they've taking the films off again.
It hurts me.
It doesn't
Star
hurt
Trek,
me.
as a reminder to people who don't know, Star Trek is one of, if not the Paramount's franchises for Paramount. And to not have it on their streaming service. You know, they've launched channels with Star Trek before. And yet they can't manage to not fuck around continuously. And
honestly,
Paramount Plus has been out for a good amount of time now, maybe a year,
something like that,
in the US, something like that. Before that, you know, this isn't a new service where they're now scrambling to collect all their licenses. Before that, there was CBS Plus.
I like this at the bottom of this trekmovie.com. They can't take away your discs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all 10 TNG movies, all the OG movies, all the TNG movies are off, leaving just the two Kelvin movies, Star Trek 09 and Star Trek Into Darkness. No Star Trek 3, no Star Trek Beyond.
Is still on Netflix, at least in our region. And
absolutely 150% no Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
But that's it for the sad-ish news and the sad news. Never mind no films. How about Yes Comics?
Yes Comics.
Is that Yes
I say
Comics?
Yes to comics.
Aye. So we've had some details fed to us about the upcoming Strange New Worlds, the Illyrian Enigma comic series. It's said to bridge the gap between series 1 and 2 of Strange New Worlds. What do you reckon of that?
Sounds good. It sounds good. And any more Strange New Worlds, I'll lap up. Absolutely. And, you know, the covers looked good.
Yes, they do.
One of the covers had Hemmer still on, and I was like...
Oh, come on.
Maybe not.
Yeah, man. God, the one is like photorealistic-ish, and it's a close-up, and it's... Man, I'm really feeling the uncanny valley today. Here we go. In a joint statement, Johnson, Bayer, and Kirchhoff say, the only thing more fun than Strange New Worlds is more Strange New Worlds. We're thrilled to bring... Jesus, was that written by the guy who wrote the copy for the fucking Star Trek Day fucking live performance? Whatever that was.
Yeah.
We're thrilled to bring fans the first comic book adventure starring everyone's favourite new crew in an all-new story that picks up where Season 1 left off. We couldn't be happier than that Megan Levens is beaming aboard to join us.
Yeah.
What ultimately draws me... This is Levens. What ultimately draws me to any project is the characters, and after only one short season, I'm already so deeply invested in the entire cast of Strange New Worlds. Yeah, same.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they know now that, you know, Strange New Worlds is going to be the, you know, lead show for Trek.
Yeah, definitely. And it's good that they're embracing the weirdo, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, embrace the Trekkie. Let's find a guy who likes it. Get them to write it. So remember the sad news about the toy company imploding?
Eagle Moss, yes.
Eagle Moss financially imploded. Sad.
Still can't buy the stuff.
No.
Editor's note. It looks like there's going to be some announcement regarding Eagle Moss and their products coming up soon.
But don't be sad, because Blue Bricks has got you covered. They're releasing a really sweet pair of runabouts that you can get. I really want this TOS runabout.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And for those that don't know, Blue Bricks is a make-it-yourself Lego, not knockoff.
It's not
just
Lego.
Legally distinct from Lego.
Not Lego in quotes with a hyphen.
Yeah.
It's not Lego. Like, it's not Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's fucking Lego.
Yeah.
But
Lego can't have the license for Star Trek because of Star Wars. It's specifically written in there that they can't get Star Trek as well. What? So if it goes to a different company to do Lego-ish stuff, then good.
I'm sorry, what?
So as part of the contract with this is heavily rumored, but it's been rumored since Star Wars went into Lego. That their license agreement says that they can't have similar sci-fi franchises, and that includes stuff with Star in the name. So there's not going to be any.
I was going to say
Star
similar
Yeah.
stuff.
Si-
It's not
sci-fi
Star Wars.
fantasy.
Star Wars isn't sci-fi.
Mm.
I'm sorry, but Star Wars is not science fiction in general.
Nowadays, does
it's space fantasy, space opera.
yeah.
It's not fucking sci-fi. Magic.
There's a few more series of Star Trek nowadays that lean more into technology. Might as well be magic, though. One of them had
are you calling out
Sonic...
Star Trek Discovery? Are you calling him out?
I was actually going to say
the sonic
Picard.
screwdriver.
Yeah, the sonic screwdriver.
That wasn't magic technology. That was just a sonic screwdriver.
Yeah.
Discovery has time crystals.
Yeah.
Time crystal.
Yeah.
I have the time crystal. If you want the time crystal, you must answer these 3 riddles.
These riddles 3. Yeah.
No, man. Yeah, no. Star Wars isn't fantasy. And Blue Bricks is fucking Lego. If you're not that bothered about kits and shit, dolls are more your thing, which is fine.
Yeah.
The X06. I've got to read you this headline. The X06 Mirror Sulu may be the best Star Trek figure ever. And, you got to put the picture in. Because,
yeah.
It is a good likeness.
It's a very good likeness.
Like you were saying, it is a good likeness, and there's a couple of pictures from different angles, but it does kind of look a bit like, and especially when you see the full shot, he looks like a fucking Jerry Anderson nightmare.
Yeah.
He is a fucking Mysteron.
Yeah. But at least it looks like him. They've got on the site I saw it. They had whichever site what that was. They had the just normal Sulu action figure.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Like
that's not Sulu. That's Sulu's cousin.
Yeah.
That's Sulu's
That's
cousin.
Mulu.
Yeah, that's Mulu. He's handsome.
Yeah.
I've never seen him before in my life, but he's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Star Trek is definitely. They are definitely upping their merchandising game, or they're trying to.
Yeah.
You know, there's been a few setbacks, and there's been, in general, just a vast lack of good merchandising and marketing going on with Star Trek for a good few years.
Yeah. You know what that would have been good though to have this news ready to go on Star Trek Day. And instead of having a comedian up go, look at all this merch.
Yeah, with a table where they've clearly come up with a sketch on the fly.
Yeah.
While they look like they're fucking hawking shit at a fucking car boot sale on stage.
Like Star Wars Day has merch, and they have done in the past at least, every hour or so they say, oh, and this is coming out. And then this is coming out, and it's a whole day event. You know, we don't need that for Trek. You can still get it done in an hour, but you just go and look at, Nerf gun, and you just shuffle along the table and go figure of Sulu. Then you shuffle along the table. You at least make it exciting and have stuff ready to go.
That's the thing. Like for Star Wars Day, when they do the event, it is kind of like a convention, isn't it?
Yeah.
There wasn't anything like that at the fucking Star Trek Day. The Star Trek Day was like an award. It was set out more like an awards ceremony.
Yeah. But I don't think it needs to be as big as a day event.
No,
they don't. They barely
the
have
live
enough
streaming event that they've been doing for the past few years have been awesome.
Yeah.
Getting fucking Will Wheaton and fucking little baby Geordie's daughter.
Yeah.
Getting them doing stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but enough about. Honestly, I'll never stop talking about what a fucking catastrophe that was. This got reported. Well, not reported, but shared on Trek Movie or TrekCore.com. It was uploaded to YouTube in March of 2022, and it's just something that I saw that I would like to recommend people check out because it's a good bit of fun. It's the Star Trek Next Generation electronic press kit from 1987. So this is basically like they would send this to networks that were going to be airing Star Trek, and it had footage from the show that they could cut into adverts and stuff, and little interviews with the cast and the creators, an interview with Gene Roddenberry, all stuff I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's fun to see things from Star Trek from the past that you haven't seen before.
I know there was definitely a Voyager one as well, because I think I've seen the Voyager one way back when. Because I remember Robert Picardo interviews and Kate Mulgrew interviews.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that one, yeah. So yeah, go check that out.
Go check that out.
It's dead fun. One more bit of news, and then Mike's got another bit of news. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to talk about this. So I don't know if you know anything about the American political landscape, Mike. But it's a bit of a fucking night. It's a minefield. It's a fucking
I was ready to say something, but
it's a fucking I would say it's a swamp, but like I don't want to.
Well, they need to drain that swamp.
They do need to drain that swamp. But like so. There's some fucking right-wing asshole called Republican Governor Brian Kemp.
Yeah.
Tweeted a photo of left-wing American politician Stacey Abrams. On screen now, reading, Stacey Abrams' radical agenda is out of this world. Now this poster, believe it or not, Mike, is supposed to be a teardown of Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
Because people should because Stacey Abrams was in Star Trek, so they put her in a Star Trek, the uniform that she wore as President of Earth or President of the Federation.
And what they're desperately trying to say is this person's policies, are so unachievable, but with out of this world also being used for are fantastic.
Fucking sick! Yeah,
with
nice!
Radical being used for, America needs some radical politicians because it's American.
Absolutely.
And radical is like
Fuck
Bill and Ted
dude.
shit.
And using a photo of her where like the camera is looking up and she is like unquestionably looking like a fucking boss.
Yeah, she looks like some sort of like TOS god of a planet.
She looks like this looks like a movie poster. This looks like this looks fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like this poster doesn't presumably the threat, just from what I can gather from the poster, is that she was in Star Trek, and because it has been brought to light that they have for sure 100% after digitally darkened the shade of her skin in this photo.
Okay.
Her skin is much darker in this photo than it is in any of the shots.
I wonder why
any of her life.
I wonder why they would do that.
Well, because she's a black nerd, and that's what you should be afraid of. Because that's it.
I am afraid of nerds.
Oh man, we're all afraid of nerds. They rule the world now.
Yeah.
And people, that's the message that I'm getting from this person.
Yeah.
Brian Kemp. That she's a black woman who is a nerd. Her policies are radical. Why don't you tell me what you think of some of Stacey Abrams' policies, Mike? Just reading off of... These are just on a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Abrams supports abortion rights, advocates for expanded gun control, and opposes proposals for stricter voter ID laws. How does that sound? Does that sound crazy to you? Does that
All
sound
sounds good to me.
completely radical and out of this world?
No.
What
There
about...
are many countries all over the same world that America is in that has gun restrictions that doesn't need ID cards for voting. Yeah.
Oh well, if that's not too crazy for you, then what about the fact that Abrams supports criminal justice reform in the form of no cash bails for poor defendants?
Sounds good to me.
Well, what about her wanting to abolish the death penalty?
Sounds good to me.
Well, you fucking hippie. What about decriminalization of small amounts of marijuana?
I mean, it's already decriminalized depending on what state you're in, so it sounds good to me to be consistent.
You're a bleeding hot liberal. What about her top priority, which is Medicaid expansion?
Sounds good to me.
God damn you fucking hippie!
I think you also need a couple more other reforms in healthcare as you get more expanded social care.
No,
But
so
yeah,
what?
I'm all for expanded social care in the US.
Yeah, absolutely. You would be all for that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Well, what about her opposition to the Israeli-Palestine conflict?
Well, it would be nice if they both stopped
Oh,
firing missiles
you
at each other.
goddamn liberals! You're
Be nice if
everywhere.
Iran stopped taking over Palestinian land.
Completely out of this world policies.
Yeah.
Honestly, what a turd.
Yeah, I am absolutely ridiculous in my bleeding heart liberal status of wanting the US to be less of a shit place.
Yes, I am all for more places being less shit.
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't like Brian Kemp, Republican governor. If you're watching this, why don't you go fuck yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling him out.
Yeah.
At me. Find me on TikTok, motherfucker.
If there's someone watching this, and you don't have to agree with us on all those policies, as I say, I think if you want to reform healthcare in the US, you need to do more than looking at the insurance industry. You need to also look at having those, for one extra thing, those adverts on TV all the time that say, oh, talk to your doctor about Plumeriquin, which will give you, this and may cause death. It will boost your hair growth by 10% and may cause death. You need to address that as well. But if there's someone that goes like, oh, no, I think the things that she's trying to do are evil, then,
they're out of this world.
There's exit links, in your all over here, different videos to watch.
Yeah, man, if you think that Stacey Abrams is radical and that her policies are out of this world in a bad way, you can get to fuck.
Wait, and especially if you think darkening her skin for a poster that is political against her is fine, and you see no problem in that, and you see no problem in like the reason behind that, again, leave instantly. we don't want you if you're one of those people.
The fucking gall.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, man. I mean, you've just been to the West. You've just been to the colonies. Did you see any adverts for medications and shit?
I saw a lot of adverts for gambling. I didn't see much medication stuff.
You were in Vegas. You weren't. Yeah. To be honest, you weren't in America. You weren't in America. You were in Vegas.
Yeah. I was in the Wild West, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And
they have like
TV,
they also do like political. Could you imagine if like a politician made a political teardown advert for another politician here in the UK? Well, I mean, like
We
the
have
EDL does. The EDL makes videos and shit. Like,
yeah, and we have party political broadcasts here, but they're not, this person wants to kill all your children.
Yeah, this person eats babies and worships Satan.
Yeah.
This woman is black. That's basically the message. How do we make her look more menacing after making her look arguably fucking awesome on this poster? Darken her skin.
Yeah. Are you done with your news, and do you want my my other bit to annoy you?
Give me the news.
Okay. We missed it in the last week because it was out by then. But there has been a leaked season plotline for Discovery Season 5.
What?
And normally I wouldn't cover it. I wouldn't want to spoil people. Or I'd put spoiler time codes in or whatever for people to skip it. I'm not going to do that this time because A, it's effort, and B, once I've read it, you'll understand why it's not a spoiler. So let me read. In Season 5, Captain Burnham and the crew of the USS Discovery must uncover a mystery that sends them on an epic adventure across the galaxy to find an ancient force whose existence has been deliberately hidden for centuries. But there are others chasing them as well. Dangerous enemies who are desperate to claim the prize for themselves and will stop at nothing to get it. So that's Season 4 of Discovery as well.
That's Season 4, full on.
Might be Season 3.
Season 4. Season 2, definitely. Ancient Force. They had to go answer riddles, get a time crystal.
Yeah. I imagine that it is a leak and it might not be true, but imagine if that's an official release ready to go and they're like, right, we've hired the best writer to come up with a season description to pull everyone in. What's he done? Oh, he's just pulled out last year's description of the season.
Well, no,
he changed the number up top.
Or what's even worse, which is he has been a part of the writing throughout and has summed up the season.
Yeah.
Quite accurately. And oh shit, we
Yeah.
made Season 2 again.
Yeah. What we're actually going to do is we thought it was too expensive to make a new season, so we're just going to put out the episodes of a previous season and hope no one notices. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Oh man, what if that's what Paramount's doing? What if the Season 2 of Discovery did so well and they were like, okay, why did it do so well? Was it because of Pike or was it because of everything else? Right, let's just keep making the everything else and let's also make Pike. What if that's their thinking?
I just found it incredible. And bear in
Can
mind...
Can I make a guess? Is this from a certain fucking giant fucking robot that we know? No? Who's this from?
This was... I got it off a different podcast and then looked it up, and it wasn't... The second source I found wasn't giant freaking robot.
Son of a bitch.
But when the Star Trek 4 news came out, because Discovery, when they first contracted TNG and Voyager and DS9 and things like that, they contracted everyone for 5 seasons, which is why when Enterprise went up to 5, they just didn't renew. Oh, when Enterprise went up to 4, didn't it? They just didn't get them back for 5. They didn't care about it.
We're not going to renew you after 5. We may as well not make 5.
Yeah. But after this season of Discovery, just film a film on those sets with those same people. Because you're not going to make Star Trek 4 with the Kelvin cast. Make a cheap movie that can make 200 million.
You can make put it out on your 70. Streaming service.
Yeah. Well... No, they don't put movies on the streaming service.
I mean, if you feel like it, if it's not too much trouble.
But imagine a Discovery movie with, instead of writing 13 episodes, they write good 2-episode length.
Yeah, man.
They combine it into a movie. They put the budget for a whole season into a movie. And they just go, okay, this has to make.
Do Sherlock. Like Sherlock did, it was 3 1.5 hour long episodes.
Yeah.
Each season. Do like Sherlock.
Yeah. And then all it has to make, because it'll be cheap to make, all it has to make is 70 million in the movies, and it's made its money back. Whereas if you make a Star Trek 4, it has to probably make 500 million to make money. You're not going to make 500 million with Trek.
Like, no one wanted it. No one wants it. We like Pike
Which
now.
Discovery or...
We start fucking the Kelvin movies. No one really wanted it. No one really wanted it. There aren't enough Trekkies who are like, my favorite Star Trek.
Yeah.
Is the handsome ones.
Yeah.
It's not even the handsome ones, the pretty ones. The handsome ones is Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
But
if you do Discovery movies for a year or two, then you get enough time to build up the Strange New World cast to whenever you want to start cutting off that universe, because it's got a ticking clock on it, hasn't it, really? And then do a Strange New Worlds movie. Because people want that.
Yeah.
And then, again,
Absolutely.
they're cheaper. Who's going to be more expensive, Ethan Peck or Quinto? It's you're going to get Ethan Peck for half the price, and by then he'll have a good couple of seasons to really get into the role.
Yeah,
but I don't see why Star Trek 4. But yeah, we've gone back to Star Trek 4. My fault.
Fucking... Well, at least someone did, eh?
Yeah. J.J. Abrams is just sitting in an office somewhere being like, how do I announce it again? I want to announce it a third or fourth time and get people interested in this movie I don't intend to make.
So that's it for the news. How do you feel?
I feel we've had some sad news, we've had some happy news, and we've had some frustrating news. So I feel we've ran the gambit of emotion.
Yeah,
how about yourself?
I feel informed.
Yeah. So,
on to this week's latest episode of Star Trek Lower Decks. Hear all, trust nothing. This is episode, 6?
6. We're most of the way through this season now.
That's crazy.
3 episodes to go.
Anyway, what do we do now?
What did you think of the episode? We do non-spoilers. I thought you were getting onto the...
today.
Yeah.
I've been at work today. I don't usually work before we film this.
Yeah.
I made 1 million coffees today. Non-spoilers. Yeah. I like this episode. I don't think it's too spoilery to say that this is mostly a Tendi episode.
Yeah.
I'd say. Mostly a Tendi episode.
Furthers her story more than anyone else. Yeah.
And yeah, it's nice. We had Rutherford last week. Was that last week? And now we're getting Tendi. I mean, how do you feel? You're getting everything you asked for. Well, not everything.
No.
Some of what you asked for.
Because one of the things I asked for.
Rutherford.
No, I want them all together. I don't want them Tendi and Rutherford and Mariner and Boimler. I want them together as a foursome.
I think I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I think I get what you're saying now. Because I'm thinking about other Star Trek and they're working towards the same goal. And even if they're splitting up, it'd be like Geordi and Data doing some science and Riker and Picard doing some diplomacy.
Yeah.
But they'd be doing it for the same thing.
Yeah. Whereas Lower Decks, the A, B plot, and in this there's a C, are completely separate plots.
Yeah.
They come together at some point, but they don't come together because they're working towards a common goal. They come together because, shit fucks up, really. And then even when shit fucks up,
saying now.
The B and C have no involvement in fixing the A plot.
Well, you didn't get that.
I didn't get that.
How do you feel?
I thought it was still a strong episode. I thought they got a shitload done in half an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Because the A and B do a lot, I thought. C, yeah, fine, whatever. C does nothing.
I also don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say that this episode is set on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Like,
this is the DS9 episode.
It's been marketed as such, and like, as a DS9 fan, there was only maybe one thing that would have made it better. I'm not going to say what it was yet. But like, DS9 is my favorite Star Trek. And I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Just seeing DS9 in animated form was fun. I feel like they've definitely, like, I don't know, something about the measurements and everything, something about the look of DS9. It just felt like the Deep Space Nine on Star Trek Online.
Yeah. All those, like the sets for it, you know, the sets, the drawings, the 3D models.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I thought were perfect. You know, with the, is it a spoiler to go like the promenade? You know, perfect. There's the dartboard in Quarks. There's that weird Bajoran symbol thing, the red thing in the background. There's the spiral staircase. There's the infirmary. There's, you know, different
Garrick's
rooms of DS9. Well, we don't know.
Well, it's there. It was there in the background.
Does it say Garrick's over it?
Yeah, it is in fancy writing.
Oh, okay. Oh, very good.
It's fancy because it's Garrick. And he's fancy.
He's a fancy boy. He's a fancy lad.
Fancy boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, good episode. Would recommend.
Yeah.
And then after you watch it, watch that other thing.
Yeah, the TNG.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean Rings of Power.
Oh, that other thing.
Yeah.
It keeps. I'll watch it eventually.
It's all right. I tell you what, it's all right. It's all right. The ending of the last episode had me going, holy fuck.
Okay.
Like, literally, like, holy fuck. Like, out loud. I exclaimed it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just want to do. I haven't watched, or I've watched the first episode of House of Dragons. I haven't watched any Rings of Power. I haven't watched any Wheel of Time. I want to do them just in, you know, once the season is finished, do them as one. And I need to do Ring of Time first.
I'm not bothered by that. But yeah, freaking House of Dragons good. But we're not talking about those. That's my fault. That's my fault. I am a weapon of mass distraction. Spoilers?
Spoilers? Do we want me to do the episode rundown?
Yeah.
And I apologise because it's still a bit long this week. I tried to cut it down in the pre-show. Anyway.
Yeah, come on, what happened?
So the Cerritos is heading to DS9 to support the Vancouver in a post-Dominion trade negotiation with the Karima by delivering goods and goodwill gifts, but the Vancouver has to pull off because they've got an exciting mission to do, so Captain Freeman is going to do the negotiation herself. Boimler, Tendi, Rutherford are all excited because it's their first time at DS9, but Mariner has been there before, as we know. She gets roped into going to her girlfriend Jennifer's friend's party. The party is a bit too touchy-feely and all, you know, weird stuff for Mariner, so they accuse her of disrespecting the party. We'll come back to it. On DS9, Boiler's playing Dabo and cleans them out, really. That's when the story tells.
Good man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tendi and Rutherford bump into Mesk, another Orion, who won't shut up about being a pirate and won't leave Tendi alone. So even while they're moving the goods from the Cerritos to the Karima ship, Captain Freeman, along with Colonel Kira, take the Karima to Quarks to show how profitable trade in the Alpha Quadrant is, because Quark now has a franchise, as we know from episodes of Picard. To discover that Quark has been using their technology to improve his replicators. They kidnap Quark, knock out DS9 and Cerritos. Back with Mariner, they're locked in, and the special candles are burning up all the oxygen very quickly. Jennifer tells Mariner to stop acting nice with her friends. Mariner stuns them all and themselves as they kiss to save oxygen. Tendi and Rutherford on the Karima ship as it goes to escape back through the wormhole. They ask Mess to use his pirate skills to take back the ship, but we find out he was raised on Earth and knows nothing about being a pirate. But a reluctant Tendi does, because her family were the Orion Syndicate. She goes badass, stops the ship in time for DS9 to get the power back on and track them back in. It's revealed to Freeman that Quark stole the tech, so she makes a trade deal with the Karima for 76% of Quark's franchise profits. Episode done.
Woo! Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that all happened for sure.
It did.
It's like so. Should we do whose story we're gonna do first? Whose story should we do? Just because we can knock out his story dead quick.
Boimler.
Fucking Boimler cleaned up.
Yeah. It's bold Boimler back again.
Yeah, man. Maybe confidence is like important in the game of Darbo.
You'd think so. It's a game for rewarding, financial boldness as well as So
that's a very philosophical way of looking at it. Someone's been reading their rules of acquisition.
we should say as well the episode title, "Hero Trust Nothing," is a rule of acquisition.
Very
190.
Good.
So
very good, very good.
Yeah. But he trades all that, Latinum he wins from tripling down all the time for a gift card and just buys DS9 crap.
He's like, I don't even need any of this. Yeah. I can get a load of that stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, cool. The gift shop, baby. I love tat. I mean, look at me. Like, what bit of tat is within reach? Here we go. There's a stack of turtles, and the top one has no head.
Headless turtle.
Yeah, man. See?
It's what we all sit on. Forget flat Earth, we're on Turtle Earth.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Totally. So, back to what we were talking about.
What about have you got anything else on Boimler then?
No, it's just, glad to see something positive coming from Bold Boimler, because so far it's mostly just got him into scrapes.
Yeah. This is the sort of story I like for, having because you don't need all four of them to do something special every week. I know I say, it would be nice if all four of them, work together towards a common goal. But, if they're not, just have one of them in a corner and cut back to him, once every 15 minutes.
Yeah. And if they're having a good time, then nice.
Yeah.
Apparently, also, those ladies on the vineyard aren't the only ones who fancy Boimler.
Yeah.
Perfect segue again.
Mm-hmm.
To the fucking, the hell on earth pajama party.
Yeah. Which, making candles and you burn them with your intentions of what you want or what you don't want. I don't know.
Hey, man, I've hung around with a lot of hippie types.
Yeah.
I've told you this before. Let me tell you, I've done some stupid shit. Me and my friend once went out to bathe stones in the moonlight. Me and my ex once wrote.
They've never seen the moon before.
No, they were being charged by the moon's energy, charging the stones with the moon's energy. Me and my ex once wrote intentions on a piece of paper during a blue moon in Mississippi, and we burned them, and we threw the ashes into the Mississippi River.
Yours were break up.
Kill me.
Free me from this hell.
Fucking honestly. But yeah, hippie chick bullshit. I've come to know that sometimes it's a fact of life that cannot be avoided.
Yeah.
And Mariner certainly learned that this week. Hell on earth.
Yeah.
You've met partners, friends before.
Yeah.
But it's with two girls, and they're meeting because two girls, so it's all right to have them both at the fucking pajama party, and girls alone in a girl space. It's very intimate, and it's very they're all in their pajamas, I bet Mariner probably knew that she was supposed to wear pajamas, but it's a place of vulnerability where everyone's sharing and they're speaking their truth.
Yeah.
Fuck that. God, that'd be so much pressure. Yeah, like guys,
For
we don't
people
get
you
we
don't
don't get
know.
invited. We don't get
Yeah.
invited to the pajama party, and like I'm quite glad.
Yeah. For people you don't know, and it's then, state your intentions, or, tell us your truth.
Yes, wear
I didn't think it
pajamas.
just had to be girls. I know it works in like our time period where those parties are mostly girls,
Yeah,
but
like I am making
20,
generalization.
20,
Obviously, there are
24th
parties where
century.
there are parties,
Yeah.
but like it's a thing. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I'm being too gender normative by saying that
No.
girls having girl time.
Yeah.
You know, we don't get invited to those,
No.
and I'm fine with that. My partner doesn't do any of that shit. My partner's non-binary.
Yeah.
My partner would wear a suit.
And I'm one of these people who don't see gender, like they don't see race.
Yeah, man.
That's a sarcastic. Just in
See.
case anyone thought I was being serious.
I bet there's people out there. I'm like, I feel like that if people say that and mean it, it's like they're going hard.
Yeah.
They're just going a bit hard. Like
I don't see people for what they are. I'm terrible with names because I can't identify faces. I just don't see people.
Yes, well, as Maya Angelou said, when someone reveals themselves to you, don't look. One final thing about Mariner. Mariner has a drink, and Mariner is drinking green.
Yeah.
What is
Drinking it from like a Saurian brandy bottle, one of those classic bottles, but green.
What is it?
It is green.
It is green.
Yeah.
Classic Star Trek call and response.
Yeah. I thought that my only real minor annoyance, and it was a minor annoyance the same way, while I was first watching the episode, I was like, if it's 24th century, they don't all have to be girls. When the doors didn't manually release, I was like, why wouldn't the doors manually release? The doors manually release in all Star Trek, but it has to stay closed, so they're shooting each other, sort of stuff.
Doors, bloody Star Trek and doors.
Yeah.
No other science fiction franchise has had so much conversation about the doors as Star Trek.
Maybe Hitchhiker's Guide with the doors that are really happy, or whatever it is.
Well,
yeah,
but that's textual.
Yeah.
So, just because for my notes for the episode, a lot of it's to do with like a lot of the references at the beginning. Should we just do like the start of the episode
go
and lead
references.
into tendies?
Yeah.
Like the start of the episode going into tendies. So we'll start tendies. Sounds weird.
Ooh, give me those chicken tendies.
Chicken tendies.
If Star Trek with a merch department isn't trying to like hook up with a food group to make chicken tendies.
Yeah, mate, make them green.
Yeah.
Make them green. Use fucking broccoli in the flour.
Yeah.
Cool.
Healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
For kids.
Yeah, get loads of healthy broccoli and fucking deep fry the cunts. So the DS9 episode, we got the scene with the pylons where they're going around, just keep looking at the pylons. Man, that theme song is a fucking trudge.
Yeah.
Oh man, the most probably not most skippable, but like pretty essential to skip when you're getting into a rhythm of DS9 episodes, because like there's something about the music that just more so than any other Star Trek theme song, something about the DS9 theme makes it last forever.
I think it's that slow bit up top. Once it starts going into like dun 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 dun, like dun dun dun, yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And the ship that. So I'm gonna get the words up. The Cerritos is en route with the Vancouver. So the Vancouver,
yeah.
The Vancouver gets called away to deal with a brown hole.
Yeah.
Captain Freeman says that's not a thing, but I beg to differ.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the butthole. I'm talking about the butthole, Mike.
Yeah.
Talking about buttholes.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say on that.
We could lead into a Red Dwarf sketch, but yeah.
Another thing to do with Mariner. She says that she's not bossy, and everyone laughs at her because obviously she's very bossy. Yeah. But she thinks she's not bossy, which is a kind of a classic folly of the easygoing dickhead. Is, you know, and it's like, hey, it's all good, baby. Let's get up to some crazy shit. And the next thing you know, it's, no, you're doing the crazy shit wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have fallen prey to that folly myself.
It's one of the reasons that her bossiness, or like not necessarily self-rightness or whatever.
She has a take charge attitude.
She's take charge, but she also takes charge in times when she shouldn't really. She does a bit of Poe in what's the second new Star Wars? Was it Last Jedi, or was that
what, the most recent one?
Yeah, the most recent trilogy. What was the second?
In The Last Jedi, when he mutinies.
Yeah, when he's like, no, if I don't know the plan, then I'm going to mutiny. You go like, you don't need to know the plan. He's very, like, that's very Mariner.
There is a chain of command in a military unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Starfleet is military. Sorry.
Yeah, get over it.
Yeah.
They just have a different mission statement. It can still be military.
Yeah.
Militaries around the world build toilets and feed poor people all the time. Still, war bad. Yeah. War bad.
Be nice if they did more of that than the shooting people.
Yeah, absolutely. War is bad.
Yeah.
That's the Failing Frequency's official stance on war.
Oh, I don't know.
Speaking of war,
yeah,
we got a nice little introduction after getting onto the station. Got a nice little introduction from between Shax and Dax. Not Dax.
Kira.
Sorry,
I
said
Colonel
Shax and
Kira.
Dax because they rhymed. Yeah, she got promoted at the end of DS9. It was awesome. We got some fucking guest star fucking gold this week.
Yeah.
We got fucking Kira.
And in typical Kira fashion, you know, I reckon
classic.
It's a running gag of DS9. She'll run into any sort of Bajoran and go like, oh no, we
this
served
guy.
together.
Oh, we fucking think. Oh, remember that time you killed those kids?
We fought in the car. We did this, you know.
Oh, remember when we made those dirty bombs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when I was on this station years ago and still had time to be part of this other resistance and meet this other guy? Yeah.
Yep, classic DS9.
Yeah.
Classic. Trading war crimes.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't war crimes. They were occupied.
Yeah.
And closely followed by another wonderful classic DS9 trope of the villains vaguely discussing their plan outside an airlock.
Yeah.
Oh man, the amount of fucking exposition that we've been treated to in those corridors.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting as well, the Karimar, for people who can't remember them. And apparently they were in 3 episodes, but I can only remember 1 or 2. James Cromwell played one.
Yes.
In Starship Down. Was trying to work out why Quark was taxing trade between them and the Federation. And they were like, no.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
Yeah. We believe in providing goods and services for a fair price.
Wait a minute. I've got a Ferengi rule of acquisition. Profit is its own excuse.
There we go.
Yeah.
So it was interesting having these guys as being like antagonists to Quark later on as well.
Yeah, it's because they're business people, money people. You know, it's all they care about money. Yeah. You know, money.
Then we find out where Quark is.
Yeah, man.
Quark's still in Quarks.
Still at Quarks.
But he's heading up a franchise of 21 Quark's bars, which we've seen in Picard twice maybe.
Yeah. But he's still working in and running the original Quarks. That's mental.
Yeah.
That's sorry, as someone who's worked in hospitality for nearly 15 years, that would never happen.
He's a people person, though.
Well, he
We
does.
know
Yeah,
he didn't go into
I
weapons
like my
because he's a people
customers.
person.
Yeah.
Because I'm a people person.
Yeah, he does say, he's how do I stay humble?
Yeah. So for general stuff, before we just talk about chicken tendy, when you get and walk around the promenade, they mention the tailors. I didn't notice it was Garrick's, but Garrick's, which presumably he's still there.
Presumably, but we didn't. That was the one thing that would have made this episode perfect for me was some Garrick.
Yeah, there seems to be no other than the Orion we run into as well, and one or two background people. There's no Federation on board, and there's no Defiant 2 stationed outside.
Whoa!
So
I guess maybe Starfleet's just doing security now.
Well, we don't know. Bajor eventually joins the Federation, but we don't know if it's yet. And it's a Bajoran station. Just Federation were only there to help them along after the occupation. So maybe they're like, "You're fine enough now. You can go."
Yeah, kind of like America's military presence in Germany.
Yeah,
and ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they're all gone, but when I was thinking about it, I was like, but Mesk says he's stationed there, so there must be some Federation there.
Well, he said he was working security, so maybe they're just doing, like stuff like that.
Mm.
Give the Federation guys the dangerous jobs.
Yeah.
They are a military, after all.
They are, as we know. But there's also a Bat Left store, and in the background you see Ferengis doing dodgy deals with people in the off corridors. We see the brig and the meeting room, the famous like DS9 meeting room that's just a permanent set in there. So anything that needs to be a meeting of any sort happens in it. You see that. Morn. Nearly forgot we saw Morn in Quarks.
My man.
As well, yeah. Being his normal chatty self. Should have been another joke, because, Lower Decks is all jokes, isn't it, really? Or is heavy on the jokes, where he's about to say something as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm surprised, and I mean, it's not like they had to get a voice actor.
Yeah.
Or would they have had to get the guy that was in the suit and get him to stand in front of a microphone for 20 minutes?
Have the guy that... Isn't the German version of DS9, isn't it something like that, where Morn says one word?
What?
There's, I'm sure, in one of the foreign dubs of DS9, they have Morn say something, which is,
Well, we'll have to check that out.
Imagine, I'll check it. If it's not right, I'll cut it out. If it is right, I'll try and find that copy. But imagine, canonically, Morn being, German. Or whatever.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I bet he has a family that makes chocolate.
Mm.
Wie schön für dich. Nicht.
Right, before we do Tendy then, let's go to the end of the episode bits. Mariner's got the hollow novel with Quark's head on Kira's body, made by Jeffrey Coombs' character, who has a name that's not Brunt or Wayne.
The other one.
But he certainly has a name.
Certainly.
But yeah, let's just do... Oh, and the arrest of Quark, where they just be like... They just go on there and steal him away. It reminded me of the episode we did very recently, the Dax one, where they just try and kidnap Dax.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was thinking about the exposition in the corridor.
Yeah.
That's the exact one that came to mind.
Mm.
That's funny.
It's a shame we didn't have Bashir run in and like hit one of them and knock himself out again.
What a dick.
Yeah. But let's just do Tendi then, because fuck it.
Yeah, man, because that leads in, because we've been talking about Quarks, and who actually got to go check it out and touch stuff. It was fucking Tendi and Rutherford.
Yeah. But
So they're chilling at the bar, and this creepy Orion dude sidles up to them. What? I've been trying to look, and it's a word that I'm sure I found a little while ago, and it's for when someone goes too hard on their own culture. Because he's not a weeaboo. He's not a weeaboo. Worf is not a weeaboo. Because a weeaboo, like Reddit tells me that a Japanese, like someone of Japanese descent in like a Western country can't be a weeaboo. So
even if you're born and raised in a Western country, you can't become a weeaboo. That's even a bit racist.
Because it's your own culture. Because a weeaboo specifically means like when white people not appropriate. They're not appropriating Asian culture. They're like way too into it.
But I don't think it's your culture if you're out of your country. You know, if you were Irish, Irish Americans who go heavy on Ireland, they're weeaboos for Ireland.
Yeah, the difference is like the Irish Americans aren't like necessarily first or second generation Irish people.
Okay, yeah. If you're first or second gen, then maybe, yeah.
Yeah, first or second gen, totally. Like, my mum's American, and there are a lot of American influences on my life and my upbringing, but I don't go around wearing cowboy boots.
Yeah, that we know about.
No,
it's always the chest up on here.
No, I don't. I have worn cowboy boots. Don't get me wrong.
The truth comes out.
I do own my granddad's holster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. But he's not a weeaboo, but he is a creep.
Yeah. Fair enough then. Yeah. All he reminded me of was like a bad version of Worf, because Worf, raised on Earth, doesn't know his culture really, so learns it from books and learns it from like
Klingons do not smile.
Yeah. It's like, no, Klingons do, you just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Merc is trying to be like that for Orions, but just he's not good at it.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting the whole femdom thing right, He is quite clearly like a bit obsessed with Tendi, which all Orion men apparently are completely subservient to all Orion women.
Yeah.
Which is a fun and interesting.
A lot of them have the pheromones. Apparently, Tendi doesn't. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was an interesting thing. She says she doesn't have all the pheromones. I wonder if that's like. I wonder if that's going to come back, and if maybe there's going to be some sort of like intersex allegory or something. Or if
it's a northern or southerner thing.
Yeah.
Because he's a different colour green than she is.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah. And it's hard to pin down what the green of the Orions we've seen in live action are compared to cartoon.
Yeah. Maybe there's like maybe there are blue Orions. Maybe there are turquoise Orions. Maybe they're just all green.
Or it's like the Romulans where they've got the forehead thing.
So we know
but
that
like some of them have pheromones and some don't.
Some like they've been shown as having black hair, green hair, and red hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly forgot the red hair one.
Yeah, man. So maybe there's a lot more diversity to the Orion people than we knew.
Yeah. I liked when he's bothering her and Rutherford as they're trying to get away. Rutherford runs up the stairs and dangles his feet off. And then he's like, I wanted to talk to a junior reporter about my life.
Yeah.
While he's up there. So, Jake references. And,
Yeah.
God only knows where Jake is. He could have stayed near the wormhole to
Presumably,
see if his dad came back.
Presumably, his column must have done quite well because people are making jokes about junior reporters on DS9 balconies.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the meme. Maybe
It probably would have been a real famous column during the
Yeah.
war as well.
Yeah.
Like having someone behind the lines writing, if you had a American or an English guy sitting next to Hitler just writing news.
Yeah, just not even news, just like a column. So
Yeah.
it's like musings.
Yeah. Musings of Hitler's buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not Hitler's buddy, but like his neighbor, because they lived on the station. Like, yeah, musings of one of Hitler's neighbors.
There's
there's
a Tendi reveal, isn't there? Really?
Yeah, the Tendi reveal. So obviously the shit pops off and the energy goes down. The Karama fucking arrest Quark, and all the power goes down, and they try to make off with him, but Tendi breaks out the fucking skills to pay the bills or not pay the bills because she's a pirate.
Yeah.
She does backflips. She beats some people up. Yeah, she uses a cool pirate tool. She saves the day.
Yeah.
Breaking out pirate skills that she learned working for her dad.
She's ripping teeth out. She's quick combining it with a com badge and a corkscrew and then throwing it against the door to open it.
Cool.
She's doing real shit. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's cool.
And we saw like some of her ability to do action on the courtroom episode, whatever it was, where she was like in commando gear, knocking people out.
Yeah.
So same
and
stuff
we got
again.
we got some allusions to her pirate past, on the episode where they went to Orion.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh, hey, Tendi," wait, and she kept quickly changing the subject. She changed the subject quickly when fucking Twerp, what's his name?
Merc.
When Merc fucking said, "Oh, is your family from the north?" He's just talking bollocks, and she's like, "No, no,
It's Merc or Mesk.
no." Oh, whatever.
I've been saying Merc throughout, but if it's Mesk, I
Merc,
apologize. They're one letter apart. Give me a break.
He's a douche.
Yeah. Douche Ryan.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it was good. It was good to see Tendi busting out the skills, and it reminded me of Spock, learning to, the old apotheosis.
Yeah.
With Spock, coming to terms with his human side or his Vulcan side, depending on which way you look at it. Same with Tendi, coming to terms with her, family's history and heritage and stuff.
And if there's a message of the episode, it's that really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Coming to terms with yourself.
Yeah.
Mariner having to, like, be herself, and not be afraid to be herself in a I would say very vulnerable place.
Yeah.
And Tendi, apotheosis, like I said.
Yeah. I've got it as well as like being yourself is good and real friends want you to be yourself. Yeah. So Jennifer is all about Mariner being Mariner. She doesn't want her to be meek and whatever, and was happy for her to tear down her friends, which, Jennifer probably needs better friends then. But at the end, when Tendy's talking to Rutherford and saying, were you embarrassed about, having a pirate for a friend? And Rutherford, being Rutherford, is saying, it's part of who you are, and I like hearing about who you are.
Yeah.
Brings a tear to your eye.
Yeah, man.
It's all good.
You got a friend in me.
Yeah.
You got a friend in me. Oh no, I went too far. I went Bob Dylan. You got a friend in me.
A friend. Yeah. So like, a good thing for the episode, and like,
yeah, man.
the only real minor holes to punch in the message of the episode, and it's, I think, the strongest episode message we've had this season, because it isn't bow down to the state, as you were complaining about.
Yeah, man. Almost no. In fact, pretty much no authoritarianism this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than the government of the Federation imposes a tax on Quark.
Yeah, but
that's
I mean, that's just
deal
you know,
making, isn't
that's
it?
just
Yeah.
taxes, baby. Death and taxes.
Yeah.
You know.
But like, the rest of the lower deckers skid at Mariner for being bossy, and then Jennifer and her friends. Jennifer isn't particularly happy with her friends and wants them torn down by Mariner, which kind of goes against the episode thing of like, no, be yourself, and your friends want you to be you too, and you'll be accepted and happy by people that love you.
Still,
It's also like,
it's
kill
all
your friends.
yeah. Sometimes it's fun to see your friends getting comeuppance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. In fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was another trope as well of DS9 that the ship gets trapped in. Because DS9 has like two things. It's like, oh, that ship's escaping. Oh, we've tracked it. Or, oh no, the ship is the station's broken down and we can't tractor it.
Yeah, man.
Has like the best tractor system in the quadrant, that station.
Yeah, man. So I've got so we got a couple of rules of acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
We get the episode's title.
Yeah.
What was the one that he quotes at the end?
It's like something, an opportunity equals profit, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't find it. But anyway, they mentioned, you know, better to have less money than be in jail.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And Quark, you know, just reacts in some way. But got me thinking about what the rules of acquisition have to say on crime and prison and punishment. And wouldn't you know, apart from rule of acquisition 219, possession is 11/10 of the law. The rules of acquisition have absolutely no mention of legal systems or checks and balances or punishments for crimes or the legality of anything.
I guess they must fall out of the rules of acquisition and go into whatever the FCA use, like Brunslot, because he arrives with a pad that has like punishments all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
but I mean,
like
religious
the Constitution, texts. Like the rules of acquisition of the Constitution, in the occasion.
Well, no, they're like the Bible, aren't they? Are they like? Is it more like the Constitution, or is it more like a religious text? Because religious texts always talk about the punishments for crimes. Did you know that in the Bible it doesn't at any point in the Bible say that slavery is bad, but it does in the book of Exodus give you rules on how to treat slaves.
Yeah.
And that you should be punished if a slave dies within 4 days of a beating.
I mean, 4 whole days, you know.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of time.
Administering medical care like for your slave for 4 days and then being like,
but the punishment isn't even severe.
Yeah.
But yeah, religious texts have punishments for stupid crimes all the time. The rules of acquisition does not see it fit to punish anyone for any form of like malpractice of business.
No.
Is what I'm saying. Like there doesn't seem to be any like, you know, it seems to me that the Ferengi economic religion seems to believe in totally free trade.
Yeah. But doesn't that fit with it more being a constitution than a religion? Whereas, like, there are some...
well, maybe it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
They are aliens.
Yeah. The what?
Totally, yeah, man. I bet you
Oh my
thought that was a
God.
man in a suit.
No, I just thought it was like a guy with big ears. And we're gonna have to
No,
reassess everything.
no, man. He's from the other.
Wow.
Well, it's getting on, mate. Do you have anything else to say about this episode?
I have absolutely nothing to say about this episode anymore. I'm all done.
Shall we wrap up then?
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, bell, and all that stuff. I did have, if you want to watch Mariner and Jennifer before this, I had a summary, like a compilation of their relationship up till now.
Yeah,
it's
nice,
on the channel
it's
somewhere.
Sweet.
It's
sweet to see the progression.
If you're on YouTube, then we're in podcast form. If you're on the podcast, we're in YouTube form, where if we talk about having a picture up, there's a picture up.
Yeah, man.
There's links for Ethan's TikTok, in
I don't
the thing
have
below.
Twitter.
Yeah. One day I'll have to make a Twitter for us, I guess. There is links for the Facebook group below and anything else that I can remember.
Yeah, man.
And if you've got this far, I'll put a time code for the news in when the news ends.
Yeah,
because I always forget to mention it up top. One day I will.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, you are who you are, and who you are is who you are.
Mm.
You is who you is, and you do what you do when you do what you do.
And if you've got this far, you must have not been one of the type of people to get annoyed by the Stacey Abrams stuff. So we like you. So we like you too.
Yeah.
Like yourself.
Yeah, we like you for who you are.
Yeah.
Like Mariner's friends do, and like Tenley's friends do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get yourself those friends in real life.
I wanna for my sign off. I wanna quote my favorite new meme that I've seen a couple of times, but it's come up loads for me lately, and that's the classic Vulcan adage of live fast and get fucked or whatever.
And peace and long life, double the masses.